I was visiting my mom who had just moved to the countryside. At the time, I was living in the city, so I was used to constant stimulus. Compared to that, this was super boring. Fortunately, my good friend Olivia actually lived in the area too. We grew up together, but eventually her parents moved and we went to different schools. One summer night, I can't fall asleep for the life of me. The Wi-Fi is garbage, so Netflix just simply isn't an option. I decide to shoot Olivia a text. Now I know what this looks like, but I swear, we're just friends. Olivia is one of those friends that I could call up at any moment and we'd pick up right where we left off. Never an awkward moment. You know the type. Anyways, fast forward. Olivia came over and I found my old BMX bike in the garage. She hopped on the pegs in the back and we went for a ride. As we made our way down the main road, she told me about some guy, James, who was into her but she wasn't sure about. To be honest, I was only half paying attention because I was busy watching the road. You know, making sure we didn't get hit by a car. Speaking of cars, we must have gone for at least a couple kilometers without seeing one. At some point, I noticed something and pull over onto the side of the road. A narrow path split right down the middle of a lake, the only bit of land between two bodies of water. We decide to seize this opportunity and explore it. Floods. So we set out onto the hidden path. It feels like we're riding in an endless void of space because the water is nearly pitch black on both sides, surrounded by darkness, with the moon lighting only the path in front of me. We ride in silence, simply trying to appreciate the hauntingly beautiful view. I lose track of time, but eventually we reach the end of the lake. We arrive at an area densely covered with trees. I assume it's a wilderness preservation of some sort. As I look into the blackness of the forest, I notice a very subtle orb of light moving around. I think I'm tripping out, but I check with Olivia and she sees it too. We whisper to each other about what it could possibly be since its movement is very irregular. I pull out my phone to shine a flashlight.
Wait, what if you scare it away?
She signals for me to follow her. We slowly and quietly get closer to the light, trying to make out what it is. I trip on a branch and it cuts my ankle. Olivia shoots me a look, then back at the orb. It stops moving. Suddenly, the orb splits into several lights. The quiet is invaded by various revving sounds, accompanied by angry men shouting. Since our senses had adapted to the dark and silence, the abrupt audio-visual stimulus is overwhelming. The lights and revving quickly approach us, and we immediately go into fight or flight. We sprint away from the path into the darkness of the forest. We're running as fast as we can, but it's no use. They're gaining on us quickly, and right when it seems like we're caught...
Ow!
Olivia?
In here, quick!
Olivia had slipped into a hole, a natural dugout hidden by plants and trees. Without thinking twice, I jump in. Under the guise of darkness, this should be enough to keep us hidden from whatever is chasing us.
What if they're park rangers?
Shh! A fleet of ATVs pull up. 5 men in white cloaks dismount their vehicles and arrive at where we were just standing. One of them reassures the others that he definitely saw someone. They proceed to search the premises, scouring each path that led in and out of the area, while aggressively shouting things like, "We know you're still here," and "We just want to give you your bike back." Olivia whispers,
Maybe they are park rangers.
Something about the tone of their voices told me otherwise. Olivia was getting sick of hiding in a hole, but I insisted that we stay put. Unfortunately, she's never been one to listen to me, so she starts making her way out of the hole until we hear the men start arguing. We can't make out exactly what they're saying, so we try listening more closely. Suddenly, a gunshot, a body drops. The men go quiet. Then, one of them screams,
"Find them! Now!"
Well, they're definitely not park rangers. If we continue to stay put, they'll inevitably find us. I think about calling for help, but I'm too afraid that the screen light might give away our location. The sounds and lights get distant once again, and I know we have a small window of opportunity to make a run for it. I look at Olivia. She's terrified, as am I. She nods at me. I mouth, "On three. 3, 2, 1. We run as fast as we humanly can, adrenaline pumping through my veins. All I see are leaves and branches, leaves and branches. I don't look back, not even once. The woods are getting less and less dense. I hear the revving behind us and I assume they're on our trail. We won't have another opportunity to hide. It's now or never. Then, we emerge from the forest at last. I reach for my phone to call for help. There's no service. Olivia tries her phone. Also no service. Out of nowhere, she receives a call from James. She hesitates. I shoot her a look, urgently signaling for her to pick up. Pause. So apparently, Olivia agreed to go on a date with James, but ghosted him this very day. He was upset and decided to call her and tell her off. You can imagine that he was quite surprised when a very distressed Olivia picked up and pleaded for him to come get us. Luckily, he hadn't given up on her and reached us before the, park rangers did. When Olivia and I later filed a report, nobody believed us since there was no trace of the men whatsoever. No body, nothing. Instead, we were just questioned for why we were trespassing after hours in the first place. To this day, I still have no idea who those men were or what they were up to. All I know is that they really didn't want us finding out about it. This is the story of when my sister was kidnapped by human traffickers. My younger sister Tabitha was studying in Europe at the time. She was so annoying when we were kids, but now that we were both older, she was actually pretty fun to hang out with. Whenever she visited, she'd usually stay at my condo for the weekend and we'd go out. One Friday during the Christmas holidays, she came by with her new boyfriend, Justin. Right away, I was a little off-put by this guy. When I introduced myself and reached out to shake his hand, I swear, he thought I was challenging him to an arm wrestling match. You know exactly who I'm talking about. This should have been a red flag, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Anyways, we head out to this bar called Track and Recreation. We went there often because it had a lot of activities like air hockey and cornhole. We arrive and everyone is already having drinks and socializing. Something hits me in the shoulder. I turn around, it's Justin.
Me and you got next, bro.
He points at the air hockey table. I'm conflicted because I really do not want to hang out with this guy, so I looked at Tabitha for an escape.
You two boys have fun. I'll go get us some drinks.
Damn it, Tabitha. How are you gonna do me like that? Fine. I guess the idea of beating this douchebag at something does seem quite satisfying. Justin and I head over to the air hockey table.
You ain't got no chance, bro. I almost went pro in senior year.
At air hockey?
No, what the f***? NHL, bro.
So what does that have to do with air hockey?
Cuz, bro, hockey is life.
Okay there.
Yo, do you have any change? Cause,
Yeah, it's fine. I head over to put some change into the table slot. I glance over at the bar and notice that Tabitha is busy chatting with a woman. Maybe in her 30s. The bartender serves them shots. The lady pays in cash. I assume that Tabitha's made a friend. Me and Justin proceed to duke it out in a game up to 7. He scores, I score. He scores, I score. We end up tied 6-6. He starts. As he pulls out the puck and attempts some gimmick, he accidentally scores on himself.
Oh, that didn't count.
Sucks to suck. While Justin's busy acting like a sore loser, I realize that quite some time has passed and Tabitha still wasn't back. I look over at the bar and she was still there with the same lady, still drinking. I mean, it isn't anything out of the ordinary for Tabitha to finesse free drinks at the bar, but even for her, this is excessive. Based on her wobbly stance and obnoxious laughter, I assume she's drunk.
Come on, bro. You got lucky. Rematch.
Hold on. I walk over to Tabitha. Yo.
Oh hey, meet my new friend.
Hi. The woman nods at me, but doesn't say anything.
Friend, meet my brother.
You good?
Oh yeah, I'm going out for a smoke. You boys play another round.
You sure? Right then and there, I felt that something was wrong, but I convinced myself that I'm just being paranoid and overprotective. Plus, I really want to shut this Justin guy up for good, so I head back to the table for a rematch. In the second game, we got stuck in a 5-5 tie. Neither Justin or I could score, and the match dragged on. Tabitha had been outside for quite a while, and I was getting worried. At some point, I decided to let Justin score on me twice just to finish the game. Obviously, he never let me hear the end of it. As we step outside, I noticed that Tabitha isn't in the smokers area. Weird. Justin and I both try calling her, but she doesn't pick up. We split up to search for her. I go back inside to scan the venue, but she's nowhere to be found. I ask a couple of people who are hanging out in the area as well as employees if they had seen her. No luck. I'm convinced that she got too drunk and Ubered home by herself. A little strange, but not completely out of character for Tabitha. I get back outside and meet up with Justin. He's attempting to call her, visibly concerned. It's okay. She's probably back at the apartment.
I don't know, bro. I bumped into some guys who said they might have seen her.
I notice a group of shady characters standing by the corner behind Justin. I highly doubt that they would know where Tabitha is. I place my hand on Justin's shoulder. Relax.
No!
He slaps my hand off his shoulder.
Look, bro. If you don't care about your sister, that's Gucci. But I'ma go find her.
Okay, you know what? This guy. I shake my head, turn around, and call an Uber. The whole Uber ride, I thought about how Justin was about to look real stupid when he found out that Tabitha was just asleep at the apartment all along. But if he wanted to go play hero at 2 a.m. with some shady characters, it wasn't my job to stop him. I open the door to my apartment and flick on the light. Tabitha? I look down and notice that Tabitha's shoes aren't there. Strange. She isn't one to clean up after herself, so this was a first. I go into the bedroom and it's exactly as I left it. A little freaked out now, I try calling her again. Voicemail, yes, hers, but also mine. I had a voicemail that I must not have noticed. I quickly check it.
Hi, this is Officer Brett calling from the Rexdale Police Station. I have your sister Tabitha here with us. There's been an incident. She's okay, but we're gonna need you to come and pick her up.
As if something had just scraped across a chalkboard, my body goes weak. I raced out of the condo. The Uber to the station was a blur. I didn't feel emotional, instead just nothing. Maybe I didn't know how to process the information. Finally, I arrive at the room where they're holding Tabitha. I get inside and there she is. Just staring at the ground, bruised, shaking. Hey. She doesn't want to talk to me. Why would she? The officer pulls me aside and briefs me in on what had happened. Outside the club, Tabitha was having a cigarette with her new friend while waiting for us. The woman asked Tabitha for directions to the nearest subway station. When Tabitha gave her directions, the woman appeared to have trouble understanding as she explained that she wasn't from the area. She asked Tabitha to walk with her for a bit. This broke my heart, because as much as Tabitha loved to finesse, she would never turn down a stranger who needed help. So she walks with the lady. Just as they turn the corner, a white van pulls up and two men with masks rush out and grab Tabitha. One of them covers her mouth right away and prevents her from screaming. She won't stop kicking, so the other man pulls out a gun and makes sure that she sees it. She looks over at the woman, who seems unfazed. It appears that she's in on this. Tabitha submits and gets inside the van. One man blindfolds her and binds her hands. They speak in a foreign language that she can't understand or identify. The woman reassures her that they just want money and that they won't hurt her. But Tabitha's smarter than that. They already took her purse and she only has $30 in it. She knows that if she leaves with them, that's it for her. As she contemplates her options, she feels the van slow down. She listens closely and can still hear distant traffic, meaning that they're still not far from the city. Before the van even reaches a full stop, Tabitha whips her hands around and manages to pull the door handle. The door flies open and she tosses herself out of the van. Before she knows it, she's tumbling down a hill. She hears the men yell after her. She reaches the bottom of the hill and immediately gets up to run. Tabitha hears a gunshot from behind. She runs faster. Adrenaline pumps through her. It doesn't matter which direction she's going in as long as it's away from them. Tabitha runs until she physically collapses from exhaustion. Out of options, she starts screaming for help. Fortunately, the men never chased after her. I guess it wasn't worth the risk, so they probably got back in the van and sped away. They actually made it all the way up to a forested area by the outskirts of the city. Eventually, someone who lived in the area heard Tabitha screaming and alerted the police. They never found those men, or the woman who helped them. Tabitha wasn't able to provide much detail considering that she was drunk, then blindfolded. But let's just say that she hasn't finessed another drink since that night.
Hey bros, you sure she went this way?
This is the story of when a crazy stalker became my roommate. During my senior year of high school, I started DMing this girl, Violet. Now at the time, I was still trying to figure out a lot of things about myself, just like everyone else during those years. Long story short, I had no business talking to a girl like Violet. What I'm saying is, Violet had it all. On the outside, she was tatted up, super fit, popular, all around bad vibes. But on the inside, that's where we shared a special connection. More specifically, we were both really into hip-hop. Turns out we're both really into this one up-and-coming artist. No one else had really heard of him, so it felt like we were part of this secret club. Over the following months, we really bonded over his music. We talked about how we'd definitely go see a show together. Violet became my best friend. We talked every day. She knew everything about my day-to-day life. We even shared passwords. And, of course, I was in love with her. But I wasn't sure about how she felt about me, and it was driving me crazy. So I'm like, F it. One night, I'm hanging out with my bro, Varun, at his place. It's near the end of summer, and we're both leaving for different universities. So we're in this daredevil kind of mood. He catches me texting with Violet, smiling and all. So he's like,
Yo, who you texting there?
none of your business.
Come on, bro. How you gonna do me like that?
Alright, fine. Can you keep a secret?
Is that even a question, my guy?
So I show him Violet's profile. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit of a flex. I know that he'll be jealous, so I'm pretty excited for his reaction.
She's fake.
What?
Yeah, bro, it's obvious.
Okay, I knew that he would be jealous, but I didn't think he'd be this petty about it.
Come on, bro. Look at these two photos. That's not the same person.
What are you saying? Yes, it is. On second thought, she does look a little different in each of her photos. What am I saying? That's the same dark eyeliner. Varun.
Okay, have you ever talked to her on the phone? You know, heard her voice?
No.
Bro, you are talking to a man.
Varun bursts out laughing. I'm starting to sweat a little. Most likely he's just trolling. But even if there's a 1% chance that Violet isn't who she says she is, this could be real embarrassing. So I try calling her. She doesn't pick up. I get a DM. I know this is a little forward, but I had to prove Varun wrong. I call Violet again and put her on speaker. Is she this hot girl or is she a man? I need to know.
Hey.
Varun and I look at each other. Before I even get a chance to respond, Violet hangs up abruptly and I get a DM. Oh, yeah, so she doesn't have good reception right now. But yeah, told you, it's a girl.
Nah, bro. I know a girl when I hear one. I don't buy it. That was some weird filter.
Varun is convinced that Violet is actually a 54-year-old man from Alabama. I brush him off. Yes, her voice did sound a little off on the phone. It certainly wasn't what I expected it to be, but regardless, that's not enough to assume the worst. Besides, we tell each other everything, so if she isn't who she says she is, I'd know. I'd know, right? As time went on, I started to doubt. I told more friends about Violet, and I don't know why, but the more people told me that she wasn't real, the more I fought against it. In my mind, it was me and Violet versus the world. Then came September and I left for university. This was the beginning of a new chapter and I was pretty excited. Unfortunately, my first roommate, Devin, was an utter nightmare. On move-in day, he introduced himself along with a 12-page list of rules that he had conveniently written and printed out. Rules that included no girls over, ever, no guests after 5 p.m., never to touch his Star Wars Lego sets, and absolutely under no circumstances was he to be ever interrupted on Sunday during Game of Thrones. Needless to say, I was eager to get the hell out of there. At some point, between struggling to get along with Devin and adjusting to my new life on campus, me and Violet began to fade. Funny enough, the less I talked to her, the more she wanted to talk to me. It escalated to the point where it felt like a burden to talk to her, so I tried to break things off. She didn't like that at all, and became more clingy than ever. When ghosting her failed, I did something. Not my proudest moment, but yeah, I blocked her on everything. With my Violet problem solved, next up was Devin. Unfortunately, I couldn't just block Devin, so I try to focus on the positives for the time being. I mean, one of the few perks of having a roommate that I hated is that I've been pretty good with going to class, since anywhere was better than home. So there I am in my 10 a.m. Psych 101 class, the same as every other Monday. I'm busy taking notes when...
Hey.
Can I help you?
Yeah, sorry to ask, but I noticed that your notes were really great. I was wondering if I could buy a copy off you? I'm Freddie, by the way.
To be honest, I thought my notes were chicken scratch. But if this guy's willing to pay for them, then, you know, student life ain't cheap, so your boy's gotta hustle. Yeah, bro, I got you. For obvious reasons. We can't meet at my place, so I agree to bring them over to his place after class. I GPS his address and leave my dorm. I get on the bus towards campus. The bus passes all of the student housing and starts getting real close to campus. I hop off the bus and make my way towards the address. When I arrive at the destination, I notice that he lives in one of the luxury condos right by campus. Definitely not student housing, minus the handful of international students, of course. I walk past this gorgeous lobby and make my way up to Freddy's apartment. I knock on the door and then,
Come in.
I open the door and wow, this makes my dorm look like a garbage bin. Freddy walks out of his room.
Find the place okay?
Yeah, you're living like a king, eh?
Haha, yeah, I guess this place isn't so bad.
If you don't mind me asking, how do you afford all of this?
Oh, my parents did pretty well for themselves. I'm lucky.
Ah, I see. That's cool, bro. Oh, right, almost forgot. I hand him the notes from my bag.
Wow, thanks, man. This is gonna save my life. Come, I'll get you the cash.
I follow him. He opens the door to the room beside his and reveals a second bedroom, fully furnished. Freddy heads over and retrieves cash out of a wallet on the bedside drawer. Roommate?
Nope, just me.
He hands me the cash.
Actually, I'm sort of looking for one. Know anyone?
It was too good to be true. Funny story. I kinda hate my roommate, so me.
Really? You should move in.
That's nice of you, but there's no way I could afford this place.
That's okay. I mean, you seem like a cool guy, and my parents own the place.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, totally. It gets kind of boring by myself anyways.
In that moment, I saw the light. Not only would I be free from Devin, but also upgraded to a luxury apartment that's a 5-minute walk from all of my classes. All I had to do was say yes before Freddy changed his mind. Needless to say, I jumped at the opportunity, and within a week, I moved into my marvelous new place. Freddy was stoked about it too. He bought a bunch of new stuff and upgraded the place even more. It was glorious. He even got us matching pajamas, which, yes, was admittedly a bit weird, but I didn't mind. The guy was letting me stay in his luxury condo for free. Even if he wanted me to tell him a bedtime story every night, that would be okay. Let's just say that no matter what, he couldn't be worse than Devin. Could he? In the first few weeks of living together, Freddy and I hung out every day. Naturally, we became close friends quickly. He would always offer to pay for everything. As nice as that was, I wasn't really comfortable with that. Thing is, whenever I refused, he insisted. Almost like he would get a little angry with me if I didn't let him pay. But I mean, hey, it's not the worst problem to have, right? Freddy was really nice and generous, but I could only hang out with the same guy for so long. One day, I made plans to hang out with this girl, and that's when things got really weird. So I'm in the campus lounge area, catching up with my friend Sophia, who I know from philosophy. She tells me about how she's fresh out of her long-distance relationship because the guy was becoming way too controlling. I relate, and I tell her about my experience with Devin. She laughs. I reassure her that there's plenty of fish in the sea. She asks about my new roommate. Oh, he's amazing.
Who the is she?
Freddy? Freddy appears out of nowhere.
I take you in, pay for all your and you flop on me to hang out with this skunk?
What?
I see how it is. Have fun, losers.
Freddy turns and walks away. Then, abruptly, turns back and whips his phone at me. I duck, and it smashes into the wall behind me. Everyone in the atrium goes quiet. Freddy storms out. I look over at Sophia and she's freaked out. Understandable, because I am too. I also have no explanation for what just happened. So I apologize to Sophia, pick up the smashed phone, and get the hell out of there. Really unsure of what to do next, I contact the campus helpline and explain my situation. They send 2 foot patrol volunteers to pick me up and escort me back to the apartment. Get this, foot patrol shows up, and one of the guys is Devin. I would dwell on the irony, but we don't have time for that right now. We arrive at the condo, and I'm in disbelief at what I see. Half of my belongings tossed out the window and laid on the grass. I'm triggered. I storm into the building. Devin and the other guy chase after me. We reach the apartment door. I take out my keys, but my anger settles, and I start thinking about just what might be waiting for me on the other side of that door. What if Freddy has a gun? I freeze.
Steven, what do we say to the god of death?
This guy did not just seriously quote Game of Thrones right now. No, I am not about to indulge in this stupidity. I jam my key into the lock and bust down the door. Just as I suspected, my belongings are destroyed. My clothes are not only laid out all around the living room, but cut up as well. That's it. I march over to Freddy's door. It's locked, so I start pounding on it.
Wait! We can't do that! You're breaking foot patrol protocol!
Protocol. Devin dials for help. I take a couple steps back, wind up, and charge into Freddy's door with all of my weight. The top hinge snaps and the door breaks in halfway. Just enough for us to see inside. Freddy sits on his bed, staring at me without blinking. He's bleeding. At a closer glance, I see my initials carved into his wrist. Okay, I'm not going in there. We waited out in the living room until campus security shows up. They take Freddy to the hospital. One of the officers informs me that I need to get back to campus to report this and get everything sorted out. He's kind enough to offer me a ride. I get in the backseat of his car while he discusses something with the other officer. When I sit down, I notice that there's something in my back pocket. It's Freddy's phone. My curiosity gets the best of me, and I take it out. Lock screen. I don't know why, but I get a feeling that I know his password. I give it a try. Oh no. This is the story of the time that I witnessed a murder in a foreign country. I'm at the bus stop. I'm feeling pretty tipsy. I pull out my phone to check when the last bus is coming. But then I remember that I have no service. That's okay. I also happen to be in the company of a beautiful girl. She reassures me that the bus is coming in 20 minutes. We notice 3 men walking along the side of the pier. They're far enough away that they're mostly just silhouettes against the moonlight. The man walking in front is stumbling, while the other 2 maintain a stern posture. Something isn't right. Suddenly, one man shoves the stumbling man to the ground. On his knees, he starts sobbing and talking really fast. From where we are, we can't make out what he's saying, but it looks like he's begging for his life. The other 2 men remain completely silent. It's clear that they have no intention of letting him walk away alive. Then it hits me. We're the only other 2 people in the area. Not to mention, we're sitting at a bus stop that's situated directly under a street lamp in an otherwise dimly lit area. It's only a matter of time before they notice us. assuming that they haven't already. And if they're about to do what I think they're about to do, then I highly doubt they'll let us walk away as witnesses. We need to get the hell out of here before it's too late. Pause. You might be a little confused. Let's rewind so I can explain how we got here. A few years ago, my mom's boyfriend, Keith, received a bonus at work and wanted to take us all on vacation. My mom read somewhere online that in Thailand, everything was a lot cheaper, so we'd be able to live like royalty, all for a fraction of what it costs to live in North America. Say no more, we were in. So my mom, Keith, my younger sister Tabitha and I all packed our bags and set out for Thailand. The plan was 2 weeks. We all had high expectations going in, but when we arrived, it was like nothing we'd ever seen. We stayed inside a gated community, and our Airbnb was a castle. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but it was truly glorious. After we settled in, everyone was jet-lagged and ready to go to bed. I, for one, wasn't tired at all and was ready to explore. So I did what any young man who was alone in a foreign country would do. I went on Tinder. Now, I usually got a decent amount of matches, but for some reason, in Thailand, my profile was blowing up. Anyways, I started chatting with this girl, Malai. She was super responsive, so I figured I'd shoot my shot. She ended up being down for the cause, so I hopped in a cab and went downtown. We met up and head to the street where most of the nightlife was. We grabbed some delicious street food and walked around. It was incredible. The lights, ambience, music, and people. I've never been one to shy away from stepping outside of my comfort zone, but this was the moment that really put into perspective that I was in a completely different part of the world, far away from home. We end up going to one of the clubs. We get inside and something about the street food from earlier isn't sitting well with me. Hold on. I gotta use the washroom.
Okay, meet me at the bar after.
I nod and look around for the washroom. Even though not much is really in English, fortunately, washroom signs are pretty universal. I follow the signs towards the washroom and arrive at a set of stairs that head down to the basement. Someone grabs my shoulder. I turn around.
Washroom? That way.
Oh, okay. He points to a door down a hallway on the left. At a closer glance, I see the men's bathroom sign on the door. Wish the signs were a little more clear, but okay. Thanks. The man doesn't reply. Maybe he doesn't speak English very well and the basement is a staff area or something. I don't know. I give him the benefit of the doubt. Anyways, I use the washroom and then meet up with Malai at the bar.
How long are you here for?
2 weeks.
That's too bad.
Let's make the best of it. She orders us a few shots and we get, you know, a little sauced. You know what has to happen now, right? I gotta go off on the dance floor, so I do my thing. Malai is impressed. She starts dancing. We start dancing together. Next thing you know, it's getting late and the club's closing, so we head out. The bus stop isn't far from the club. Neither of us are tired yet, so we decide to walk. We get away from all the commotion and make our way down a stretch of road beside the water. We pass a dock area that's shut down for the day. We arrive at the bus stop. I'm feeling pretty tipsy. I pull out my phone to check when the last bus is coming. Right, no service. Malai reassures me that the bus is coming in 20 minutes. We notice 3 men walking along the side of the pier. Alright, that brings us back up to speed. The man begs for his life. I look at Malai and she's terrified, which freaks me out even more because if anything, she's from here, so she knows what's up. Malai. She looks at me. Do you know who those men are? A gunshot. We both look. The man on his knees drops dead. Everything I've suspected is confirmed. The last bus isn't gonna be here for another few minutes, and we can't afford to sit here any longer. I grab Malai's hand and make a run for it. With a clear stretch of road and a ton of streetlights, hiding simply isn't an option. Our best bet is to make it to the bus stop down the road in hopes to catch the bus at an earlier stop. I hear tires screech behind us. They're coming. I mean, I've definitely thought about it before. How it's all gonna end one day. But drunk and in Thailand was never the first option that came to mind. With that being said, in that moment, I really thought that was it for me. And it would have been if it wasn't for a cab coming straight towards us. The sign is lit up. Could it be vacant? I rush towards it, waving my arms like a madman. The cab stops. With no time to appreciate the miracle, we hop in and drive! The cab driver rolls his eyes. Probably thinks I'm just another entitled foreigner. Then, in his rearview mirror, he notices a set of lights. There was a car on our tail, quickly gaining on us. Our driver registers the situation, then speeds up the cab. The car behind us speeds up as well, but only enough to continue maintaining a safe distance.
Here!
We arrive at the front gate. Thankfully, the guards are on patrol. I flash my pass and they quickly let us in. We're inside the safety of the gates and under the protection of guards. There's no way they can figure out exactly where I'm staying. This nightmare is finally over. We're safe. If only that were the case. Maybe if I hadn't been so naive, I would have told my mom, or Keith, or Tabitha about what had happened, which could have prevented so much. But no, I didn't tell anyone. 3 days later, it's the middle of the day. Tabitha went on a hike. My mom and Keith were out, and I'm sitting in the kitchen trying to get a hold of Malai. She hasn't responded to my texts. I mean, it's understandable because I'd imagine she's freaked out and wants nothing to do with me. But the day after, everything seemed okay. Then last night, she abruptly stopped responding and I haven't heard from her since. Tabitha comes home freaked out. I comfort her. After she calms down, she explains that on her way home, she noticed a black sedan driving back and forth. It had tinted windows, so she couldn't see inside. She had tried to cut a few corners on her route, but the black sedan stayed behind her, making it clear that she was being followed. She nearly makes it to the front gate. The driver cuts her off and rolls down his window.
Come here.
Sorry, I don't know you.
Come here right now.
Tabitha inches closer.
Where is your brother?
He went to the beach.
Luckily, Tabitha thinks pretty quickly on her feet.
If I find out that you lied, you'll regret it.
The man speeds off. At this point, it became painfully clear that those men from the other night were not going to leave me alone. So I told her about what happened at the club. Tabitha connected the dots and was adamant that we told Mom and Keith. Later that evening, we came clean. Naturally, this freaked my mom and Keith out. Keith started frantically making calls and eventually got a hold of the man who we booked the Airbnb from. An older gentleman named Frank came over an hour later. Seated around the dinner table, we explain everything to Frank. He calmly asks a few questions. We answer them. He contemplates. then leans forward with a very serious look on his face.
Listen to me. You all need to leave here tonight, or you'll be dead by tomorrow morning.
Come on, Frank. You can't be serious.
I'm serious. This is a very bad situation.
If we leave now, we can probably book a last-minute flight at the airport.
No, they will be waiting for you on the road.
How will they know we are leaving?
The guards will signal them.
Why would they do that?
This is a very corrupt place. Do not trust anyone. Tonight, at precisely 12, the guards will change shifts. You will sneak out. Make sure nobody sees you. Bring only what you need. Down by the lake, I will arrange for a boat to take you to my private plane.
Is that it? We just supposed to gamble with our lives?
This is the best I can do. Good luck.
Oh, this is the boat. We better get a refund.
We packed our belongings and then watched the sky get dark together. A dense fog fills the air, creating a ghostly atmosphere. This castle suddenly felt like a giant death trap. By 11:30, we were all on edge, anticipating what would happen next. Then the doorbell rings. Someone is buzzing from the gate. I look through the security camera. It's Malai. If I don't open the door, it might tip off the guards, so I go. I head out to the front door.
Hey,
Hey,
what are you up to tonight?
something's off. Just chilling at home. What about you?
Feeling adventurous? Wanna go to Pattaya? That's where the party's at.
I think I'll just stay in tonight. I'm pretty tired.
Please come.
A tear falls down her cheek. She's shaking. Sure. Let me just run up and change. I'll be right back. I run back up to everyone else. We need to leave. Now! The guards aren't going to be changing shifts for at least another 15 minutes. Not to mention that Malai is out by the front. So we're left with only one other option. We sneak out the back. Problem is, the backyard is massive. Plus, it's pitch black at this point. We're all following Tabitha, who's lighting the way through the trees with her iPhone flashlight. She claims that on her hike, she came across a trail that connects the backyard to the lake. We hear the guards shouting up by the house. They must have noticed that we fled. Within moments, the sounds of guards multiply, then disperse into various directions. Flashlights move around the area. We try and pick up our pace while still moving as quietly as we possibly can. Finally, in the distance, there's an opening. Without warning, I hear a scream come from the house. I look back. My phone lights up. I reach to shut it off, but it's too late. The ringtone fills the forest. It's Malai calling. The flashlights all stop moving. The guards go quiet.
Run!
We dash towards the opening. The flashlights from all over the premises converge into one blinding light that beams at us from behind. The light gets brighter and the sounds of guards get louder. We breach the opening and find ourselves on a beach. A small boat is docked in the water. A man covered in a dark cloak and straw hat steps out. He lifts his hat. It's Frank. He urgently waves for us to get inside the boat. We make it inside the boat. Without hesitating, Frank starts the motor and we take off. From the water, we watch the guards populate the beach, then vanish into the fog. We ended up making it back home safely on Frank's plane. I never heard from Malai again. I try not to think about what might have happened to her. Tabitha reminds me that there's nothing we could have done. Even when we got home, we would keep getting calls from unknown numbers for quite some time. One time, my mom accidentally picked up, and it was someone who claimed to be an officer. They demanded that I returned and testified as a witness. Keith grabbed the phone from her and hung up. We blocked all unknown numbers after that. For the longest time, I've had so many unanswered questions. Just what exactly did I witness on the dock that night, where those men wanted me dead so badly? Fortunately, Keith stayed in touch with Frank, and eventually, we learned the truth. The man I saw get murdered was at the same club that night. Apparently, he's really drunk and looking for the bathroom. He follows the signs. He accidentally goes into the basement instead of the washroom. He finds himself in front of a door. He opens it. Definitely not a washroom. A room filled with shady men stare back at him. You see, what this man had stumbled upon was the largest heroin operation in the country. He was quickly taken outside by two of the men to be taken care of, which is precisely where I came into the equation. I was the witness that connected a drug trafficking case to a murder case, and for that reason, they needed me taken care of as well. After I learned the truth, I couldn't sleep for many nights, and to this day, I still think about what might have happened if that night at the club, I had gone into the basement instead. I open the door, and lo and behold, our bro Yasir is on the couch. Out of his mind. Next thing you know, Varun tells me.
Yo, his ring's gone.
What? Let me explain how I got here. This is the story of the time a gold digger took advantage of my brother. I'm in Vegas with my bros, Varun and the groom himself, Yasir. Varun pulls out a flask and 3 shot glasses.
Alright.
What is that?
Varun smirks.
You said we were just coming up here to appreciate the view.
I know, but trust me fam, this is gonna make the strip club A1.
We are not going to the strip club. Put that away.
Fam, you are about to get married. This might be your last chance to get lit.
See, Yasir is a bit of a straight arrow kind of guy. Doesn't drink much, never touch drugs, so naturally, Varun is determined to corrupt him.
Absolutely not.
Steven?
I'm on my phone.
Yo, Steven.
Huh?
Come on, fam. Look around. You really on your phone right now?
I was texting.
Who you lying to? We all know you're texting your mom.
Off.
Jeez. I can't believe this. I'm in Vegas with 2 nerds.
Varun walks off. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually agree with Varun.
Seriously?
Yeah, bro. It's your bachelor party. Why not? This exact moment was where I really f***ed up. But we'll get to that. Anyways, Yasir reluctantly agrees to take a shot.
A toast. At the end of the day, blood don't define us. We choose our families. So yeah, I say it all the time. Steven is my guy. And if this man right here is fam to him, then he's fam to me too. Cheers to you, my bro, Yasir.
I'm at a loss for words. I didn't think Varun had it in him to be anything other than a degenerate. But I guess people are full of surprises. We take our shots.
Got him.
What?
Taste a little funny?
What did you do?
Aw, nothing. You know, Just mix it up.
And that was the last thing I remember. Before I get to what happens next, let me catch you up. Basically, Yasir proposed to my sister, Tabitha. Out of all her boyfriends, he was definitely the best. Guy just had a good head on his shoulders, steady job, you know, the whole ordeal. In fact, the man was so proper that he didn't want to have a bachelor party at all. But Tabitha insisted, so she gave me the job of organizing something fun for him. Her exact words.
Well, I don't know. Just get him to loosen up.
I mean, I didn't know the guy too well, so I figured Vegas was a safe bet. We'd book a hotel, hit up the casino, then call it a night. Obviously, I didn't want it to just be me and him, so I'm like, who would be down for a last-minute Vegas trip?
What happened?
I open my eyes. A throbbing pain pulses through my head. I look around. We're sitting in an alleyway right by a dumpster. What happened?
Yeah, that shit was crazy strong.
I'm livid. I charge towards Varun. He dodges.
What the hell, fam?
You drugged us.
You told me to help him loosen up.
Honestly, I'm really starting to question why I'm friends with this guy at all. But in that moment, we had more pressing matters at hand. Wait. Where's Yasir?
Good question.
I can't believe this. Alright, pull out your phone.
Why?
So we can find the groom. I pull out my phone. No missed calls. No texts that are relevant to Yasir. Not only that, but it's been 6 hours since the rooftop. Oh man, Tabitha is going to kill me.
He's at the strip club.
What? How do you know?
Because I set a reminder on my phone.
Let me get this straight. Earlier in the day, you set up a reminder to go to the strip club after you drugged us.
Yeah, that's what I said. Do you want to go find him or not?
I want to strangle Varun. But I'm also somewhat impressed. This was some next level supervillain dedication. As much as I hate to admit it, at this point, this seems like our best chance we've got at finding Yasir. So I call an Uber and we head to the strip club. We pull up to the front and someone knocks on the window. It's the bouncer.
Guest list?
Funny story. We actually lost our friend and think that he's inside.
If you're not on the guest list, I can't let you in.
I consider sneaking in, but I mean, this guy looks like he could crush my skull with his hands, so probably don't want to cross him.
We're with Yasir.
The bouncer checks his list. I shoot Varun a look. He shrugs.
Of course, sir. Head right on in. You're in room 6.
I don't know what just happened, but we play it cool and head inside. I should mention that at the time, I'd never been to a strip club before, so I had no idea what to expect. Girls spiraling in the air, flashing lights switching colors to the rhythm of a heavy rap beat. Men gathered around the main stage area. A girl dances on the pole. The men toss cash at her. Then it hits me. They probably won't let us stay very long once they figure out we aren't planning on spending much cash. I look at Varun. Like a moth to a flame, he's already hypnotized. Bro, snap out of it. We need to find Yasir. Someone grazes my shoulder.
Hey, boys.
I turn to see a girl standing in front of us.
What's up?
Where'd you go? I missed you.
I'm sorry, do we know you?
So silly. Come on. I'm Jade, remember?
She signals for us to follow her. We walk with her towards the back of the club. We go through a curtain, right under a giant lit up sign that reads VIP. We enter a hallway with several private rooms. She leads us to room number 6.
Here you are. I'll be right back.
I have no idea what kind of situation we've gotten ourselves into, but I know it can't be good. We've got to get out of here as soon as—
Fam, I think she's into me.
I can't with this guy. No, not today. I open the door, and lo and behold, our bro Yasir is on the couch. Out of his mind. Yasir! I guess for a guy who doesn't drink often, this might have been too much to handle. I signal Varun to help me lift Yasir, but then—
Yo, his ring's gone.
What?
Fam, you heard me.
How is this possible? I know for a fact Yasir would never take his ring off. Whatever. Doesn't matter. We need to find it before someone knocks on the door. The door opens and Jade comes through with 3 girls. Jade's holding a tray with several very expensive looking bottles.
You boys ready for round 2?
Okay, hold up. I'm glad we found Yasir, but I've got a new, much more pressing concern on my mind. Who's paying for all of this?
Woo! Go get him, girls.
Varun and I are pushed back onto the couch by 2 of the girls. They start dancing on us. Jade sets up the bottles on the table. I'm trying to cancel this before we get in any deeper. But then— oh no. Just as I thought. Yasir's ring is on her hand. Next thing you know, Jade is out the door and we're trapped under these girls. Psst. Varun pretends he didn't hear me.
Yo! What? I know where the ring is.
Where?
It's on Jade's hand.
What? How?
I don't know, motherfucker, but we gotta get it back.
No, you have to get it back.
What? You drugged us.
Nah, fam. We both know Yasir don't trust me like that. You were the one who convinced him. You drugged us.
Remember when I said I really f***ed up? Yeah. Well, first things first. I gotta get out of this lap dance. Excuse me. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm actually trying to talk to the other girl. Jade. The girl stops dancing. She turns to me. To my surprise, she doesn't get upset at all and is super professional. She tells me to follow her. I look over at Varun and— yeah, he's not coming. I follow the girl down the hallway. She opens a door to a different private room. This one's smaller and more intimate.
Hey, you.
Hey.
Heard you wanted to see me.
Yeah, I need to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
It's not like that.
Ooh, playing hard to get. I like that.
No, the ring. Her tone changes.
What about it?
Look, there's been a misunderstanding. That's my friend's engagement ring. I don't know how you got it, but I'm gonna need it back.
Yeah, I can't do that.
What do you mean?
He gave it to me.
No, you don't understand. He's really f***ed up right now.
No, you don't understand. That's not my problem. Look around you. Do you think it's all for free?
Someone knocks. The door opens. It's the bouncer from the front.
Everything okay?
No, not really. This guy's a rude ass.
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
No, she stole my friend's ring.
I won't ask again.
Bruh, I ain't leaving without that ring. Before I even finish my sentence, this guy is holding me up by my neck a couple feet off the ground. I can't breathe. Jade is talking in the background, but I can't make out what she's saying. My vision blurs. I'm losing consciousness. This is it for me. Then... I get back up from the couch and gasp for air. Once I regain my balance, my vision comes back. Varun's in the room. He's talking to the bouncer.
Bam! You are 100% right. He had it coming. Mans talks way too much trash. No stress. We don't even like him. Just had to bring him along, you know?
Varun shoots me a look to shut up and play along.
But yeah, we good? What you say me and you have a drink and put this all behind us?
We're good. You guys still gotta go though.
Varun takes out his flask.
Bam! No stress. We'll be out here before you even realize. But again, I just really appreciate you for being so accommodating. This that good shit, you know?
He drinks from it, then passes it to the bouncer.
Yeah, alright.
The bouncer chugs back the flask. Gulp, gulp, gulp. He empties it, then hands it back to Varun.
Not bad. What'd you say that was again?
Got him!
He reaches for Varun but loses his balance. Tastes a little funny.
You two are dead.
He attempts to come at us, but can't hold himself up. Varun and I shoot each other a look. Then... Varun is a piece of but I mean, I guess he does come through sometimes. With the bouncer knocked out, Jade's suddenly nice to us again. Yeah, we ain't falling for that again. She gives up the ring. We pick up Yasir and get the hell out of there. We make it a safe distance away from the strip club, only to realize that all our phones are dead. Now what? Hey, Tabitha? It's Steven. Can you order us an Uber? Huh? Oh, yeah. He's definitely been loosened up. I get to the washroom and I try to take care of my business as quickly as possible. Then, one of the stalls opens and someone steps out. They just stand behind me. I'm very uncomfortable, so I subtly turn my head to see who's there. Oh no. It's the man from 3 rows above. He steps up to the urinal right beside me.
Your friend is very pretty.
Okay.
How much?
Excuse me?
I'd like to have her. How much you want?
Hold up. Let me explain how I got here. But first, an announcement. You ready? We have merch. Yup, but not just any merch. For my OGs, I wanted to make something real special for you. The Zen Mode OG collection is only going to be available before we hit 100,000 subscribers. I repeat, before we hit 100K. So in the future, when we blow up, you'll have proof that you were really here first. So yeah, get yours ASAP. Link in the description. Anyways, let's get back to it. This is the story of when a creepy man tried to buy my girlfriend. I'm at the movies. It's the opening night for Avengers Endgame, and I'm stoked. I'm especially excited because tonight's my second date with Anastasia. A beautiful girl who, let's just say, has a fiery personality. We'd been meaning to go out for quite some time and our schedules had finally lined up. There was only one problem.
You didn't get tickets online?
I didn't think it would be sold out.
It's Avengers.
Fair enough. I guess we can watch something else.
Like what?
I mean, I look at the other movies that are playing and yeah, they all suck.
I thought you might be different.
What?
Oh, you know. I just didn't think you were a quitter.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, we ran into a little obstacle, and then you wanted to quit. That's all.
Fine. We're seeing Avengers. I pull out my phone and check the nearest showtimes. Sold out, sold out, sold out. Then, when it seems like all hope is lost.
That works.
What?
The link you sent. There's a screening at 11:30.
Odd. I definitely didn't send a link. But you know what? I'm not gonna question a good thing. I checked the address. Damn. It's a 3-hour drive because this place is literally butt nowhere. But you know what? I said we're seeing the Avengers, so we're seeing the Avengers. I popped the address into the GPS and we're on our way. After driving on the highway for at least 2 hours, the lights and sounds of the city have faded away. We're the last car still driving on this road. Hey, what did you mean earlier when you said I sent you a link?
Off.
No, I'm serious.
Are you messing with me?
I didn't send you anything.
Okay, smartass. I guess you didn't send me the address on Facebook Messenger.
I don't have Facebook.
What?
Just then, a car in the rear view mirror. The headlights are off, so it's barely visible in the dark. Is someone following us? How long have they been there? I speed up and take the first exit off of the highway. Then pull over and park by a stop sign on some random road.
What was that?
I don't know. Look, I've definitely never messaged you on Facebook.
What are you talking about? We've been chatting on Facebook for months.
Show me. She pulls out a chat log. I couldn't believe it. It went all the way back. I clicked through to the profile and there I was. My name, my photos, my information. Anastasia had been talking to me every day, except this isn't me.
Then who is it?
A car revs from behind, the same pair of headlights rapidly approaching. It pulls up beside me. I look over to my left. A man, older. I barely get a clear glimpse before he drives off into the dark.
Maybe let's just turn back.
I admit, I'm freaked out as well. But damn it, for the third time, I said we're seeing the Avengers. So we're seeing the Avengers. I pull up to the address, and it's a quaint, spooky little theater. But at least it's still a theater. Because at this point, I was expecting like a trap house or an ambush or something. We get inside, and even here, at nowhere, it's still crowded. But as advertised, there are tickets available for an 11:30 screening. I buy 2 tickets and a large popcorn and drink combo. We go inside to find our seats. We're sitting towards the back, but there are still 3 rows above us. As the theater fills up, I notice a man 2 rows above looking in our direction, but not at me, at Anastasia. He observes her. He notices me and quickly shifts his eyes away. About that Facebook account.
I blocked it. And I would rather just not think about it anymore, if that's cool with you.
Okay. Fortunately, it's the Avengers, so it isn't too hard to shrug off everything and enjoy myself. Unfortunately, that large drink starts creeping up on me about halfway through the movie. I can't hold back the floodgates any longer. So I get up to go to the washroom. I glance back up to where the old man was seated. Odd. His seat's empty. I get there and rush over to the urinal. I try to take care of my business as quickly as possible. Then, one of the stalls opens and someone steps out. They just stand behind me. I'm very uncomfortable, so I subtly turn my head to see who's there. Oh no. It's the man from 3 rows above. He steps up to the urinal right beside me.
Your friend is very pretty.
Okay.
How much?
Excuse me?
I'd like to have her. How much you want?
She's not for sale, and she isn't my property. You better back the f*** up.
I'll wait for you, in case you change your mind.
The man leaves. I finish up in the washroom, then head back to the theater. I get back to my seat and look back. Still empty. I take a deep breath, then get back to the movie. Don't get me wrong, I am sufficiently creeped out. But I figure that I'm in a public theater full of people, so this creep isn't going to be able to pull anything on us. The movie ends, and the audience starts making their way out. As we leave the theater, I double check for the man. Nope, nothing. We exit the building and start making our way towards the car. It was on the other side of the parking lot, so it was a little bit of a walk.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Infinity War was better.
Come on, what about that last scene where everyone came back?
It was cool, but I don't really get the whole time travel thing.
Nah, they fully explained it when...
Hey!
I turn around. The creepy man is right around the corner, running towards us with a knife. I look to Anastasia. Run! I sprint towards the car as fast as I can, but I don't hear footsteps running beside me. I look over my shoulder, and Anastasia is running towards the man. He's caught off guard, but before he gets a chance to react, Anastasia kicks him straight in the balls. He falls to the ground in pain and drops his knife. A phone slides out of his pocket. I run towards Anastasia. As soon as he's able to, the man gets up and makes a run for it. He's getting away! Anastasia looks down at the phone the man left behind. She pulls out her own and types something into it. She sends off a message. Then, the other phone's screen lights up. A bright blue notification bubble appears. I knock on the door. Nobody answers. My curiosity gets the best of me, and I try the door. It's unlocked. I make my way inside. It seems like nobody's home. It's a mess. Stuff everywhere. But there are definitely people living here. I make my way through the house as quietly as I can. I arrive at the kitchen. It's dark inside, so I search along the wall for a light switch. I turn around. Oh no. Hold up. Let me explain how I got here. But first, we passed 100,000 subscribers. I just wanted to say thank you. And we're just getting started. Special thanks to everyone that bought merch. OG merch is gone, but new classics are here. Check them out, link in the description. Anyways, this is the story of when I got a serial killer fired from his job. A few years ago, when I had first moved to the city, I was running out of cash and I had to get a job quick. So I was looking for anything, really. That's how I ended up working for Tony's. Tony's was a warehouse. Think the knockoff version of Costco. No, seriously. It basically sold the knockoff version of everything you can imagine. From home appliances to clothes, pet food. Yeah, you get my point. Most of the girls were inside dealing with customers. And the guys? We were out on the lot, pushing carts. Our job was simple. Bring the stray carts back to the shelter. We used to joke about how they could have trained monkeys to do it. Anyways, you might be wondering, just what kind of lowlifes would end up working at the knockoff version of Costco? Well, let me tell you.
Hey, kid.
Huh? Vlad the manager, alpha dog, used to do Muay Thai or something. Everybody knew not to mess with him.
Come over here for a sec.
What's up?
Did you close last night?
No. Why?
Do you know who did?
I think Glenn? Yeah. About Glenn. I'm not really sure how to describe him. He was odd to say the least, and it seemed like nobody really liked him.
Okay, thanks.
Vlad walks over to Emily and lets her know. Emily was responsible for relaying info to us from inside. Between you and me, she was pretty cute.
That dumb he's gonna get us all canned, I swear.
What happened?
He's been slacking. He left the carts out last night again, and the boys in the morning complained.
Is he gonna get fired?
He's past his probation. He'd literally have to kill somebody right now to get fired.
True?
Yeah. Not to mention, he's been creeping out the girls.
What? How?
Watching. Some say following. I don't know. Point is, HR is tired of it.
Maybe he's just awkward.
Look, between you and me, something's not right about that kid. Just keep your distance. Alright?
Here's the thing. Sure, Glenn was weird, but I honestly thought everyone was overreacting. However, it ain't cheap being a young man living in the city. I have an idea on how we might be able to get rid of Glenn.
I'm listening.
Basically, I got some free time right now, so I'm thinking I could take over most of Glenn's hours. You know, if he didn't have enough hours.
Make him quit on his own. I like it.
Well, that was easier than I thought. Sorry, Glenn. Survival of the fittest. The plan was set in motion. I went from like 2 to 6 shifts a week. Sure, it was a lot, but I needed the money. Besides, it was easy work. I could chill on my phone most of the day, and the best part was, I'd still be doing a much better job than Glenn. I was truly flourishing. And Glenn, he was reduced to like 1 shift a week. It didn't take long before he realized he was getting shafted. And let's just say, he wasn't happy about it.
I didn't know you could control carts from your phone.
Oh, I was just...
I'm just messing with you, kid.
Yeah, you got me. Man, I'd be depressed if I had to work here forever.
Yeah, who would want to work here forever?
Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
I get it. Only people who work here are old people who have given up or young people who need cash. I'm guessing you're the second one. So, what's next?
Movies. I mean, I want to make movies.
Hollywood, eh?
Yeah, that's the dream.
That's nice. Believe it or not, I had a dream too.
What happened?
I started working here, temporary. Then the raise. Just one more summer, I tell myself. Girlfriend gets pregnant, responsibilities. I got stuck. Can I give you some advice, kid?
Sure.
Don't get stuck.
The big homie Vlad was being real with me. I felt dumb for offending him. But before I could get a chance to say anything, the sound of metal clanging somewhere around the corner. We followed the noise to see what's going on. Inside one of the shelters, Glenn is aggressively kicking carts. Vlad rushes towards him.
What the hell are you doing?
Without hesitating, Vlad grabs Glenn by the collar and shoves him against the shelter. Glenn starts giggling.
Take the night off, kid. I'll deal with him.
You sure? Vlad nods. I mean, get off work early and avoid a psychopath? Don't gotta ask me twice. Besides, seems like Vlad's got the situation handled. Or so I thought. I get to work the next day. I really want to ask Vlad about what happened after I left, but I can't find him anywhere. I don't think too much of it and go on with my shift. Then about halfway through the day, Emily comes outside. She's on the phone. She looks a little stressed. I have a hunch that it's about Glenn, so I hide inside the cart shelter that's closest to the warehouse. Close enough that I can eavesdrop. Vlad didn't call in. Unusual. Then it hits me. It's true. I've never seen Vlad miss a shift, even once, during my time working here. And the last time I saw him was... Something isn't right. I considered telling Emily what happened last night, but I'm pretty sure Vlad wasn't allowed to put his hands on Glenn like that. And you know, I ain't no snitch. So instead, I decide to investigate on my own. I managed to find Glenn's Instagram. It's all random pictures of trees and his dog. Oh, I recognize the street. It's actually not far from the warehouse. I sneak off the lot and head for Glenn's house. I arrive at a complex of townhouses. The first thing I notice is that the neighborhood is pretty run down. I'm a little paranoid about getting mugged by a crackhead, but I've already come all this way. Besides, I think I see it. Yeah, this is definitely Glenn's house. I knock on the door. Nobody answers. My curiosity gets the best of me, and I try the door. It's unlocked. I make my way inside. It seems like nobody's home. It's a mess. Stuff everywhere. But there are definitely people living here. I make my way through the house as quietly as I can. I arrive at the kitchen. It's dark inside, so I search along the wall for a light switch. I turn around. Oh no. A man, a woman, and a dog. Dead. I'm assuming Glenn's parents. Their faces are planted onto the table, blood still dripping. And the dog? The same one from Glenn's Instagram. I run back out the hallway. I get to the front door. It's jammed. I start shaking the handle as hard as I can. I take a deep breath. I pull out my phone and call the police.
Hello?
The police showed up pretty quickly and asked me a ton of questions, including why I was there in the first place. And I'm like, honestly, I don't know how I keep ending up in these types of situations. After I explained that I was looking for my coworker, Vlad, they let me go. They stayed in contact with me for several weeks as they investigated the case. Apparently, Glenn had stolen a gun from his dad and shot both his parents less than an hour before I got there. To this day, they haven't found Vlad or Glenn. I feel horrible when I think about what might have happened to Vlad. What if me taking Glenn's shifts was what made him snap? Speaking of Glenn, he's still out there, somewhere. And I'd imagine he's coming for me next. The doors lock.
You said you were bringing another girl.
Well, I thought it would be okay if I brought my...
Another girl!
Hey man, we don't want any problems. He doesn't respond. I notice in the rearview mirror, he's trembling. I can't see his hands. I look over at Savannah. She's frozen. Tears start forming in her eyes. I remember the windows are tinted, meaning nobody can see us from outside. That leaves us with one option. I need to take him out before he tries to pull anything on us. It's now or never. 3, 2, 1. Hold up. Let me explain how I got here. This is the story of the time my friend was almost kidnapped because she's an influencer. My friend Savannah is an influencer. I'm not talking about millions of followers, but she's big enough on Instagram to get free stuff sent to her pretty often. What does she do, you ask? Well, she's hot. Hey look, I'm not judging. We all gotta play the cards we're dealt with, and there's nothing wrong with someone making use of their gifts. Besides, she's super down to earth and generous. Yo, I like this.
You want it?
Nah. Really?
Take it. I already have like 3.
Bless. And that was pretty much it. Free stuff, clothes mostly. Until one summer, everything changed with one DM.
Oh snap!
You good? Savannah looks up at me.
Yo, I just got offered a trip to Miami and everything is paid.
For real?
Yeah, and all I gotta do is just post pics in this hotel.
Savannah shows me the DM. She clicks through to the profile of the account. It's a hotel called the Matai, and the grid is filled with photos of luxury amenities. Damn.
Wanna come?
Is that even a question? Savannah types something into her iPhone, then sends it off.
Done.
How?
I just told them that I'm bringing one of my girlfriends.
But I'm a guy.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
You know what? Savannah said it's gonna be fine, so it'll probably be fine. Who am I to argue with a free trip to Miami? Basically, this hotel called the Matai was sponsoring our trip. They told Savannah that we had to book our own flights and they would reimburse us after we checked in. I thought it was a little odd, but they said it's because in the past, certain influencers never showed up. Makes sense. We packed our bags and next thing you know, we were on a plane. Savannah and I walked through the terminal with our luggage. Savannah has never done a sponsored trip before, so she isn't really sure how to go about it. All we know is that we're supposed to meet with our driver at the airport. I notice a man standing by the entrance, holding a sign with Savannah's name on it. We walk towards him.
For Savannah?
The man looks at me, then back at Savannah. Without responding, he turns around and starts walking away. We assume he means for us to follow him.
Maybe he doesn't speak English.
We get outside to the pickup area. I notice a black limousine parked up ahead. Savannah and I share a look of excitement. The man approaches the limo. Then, he walks past it. Savannah and I look at each other again, confused. We continue following the man for a while. By now, we're quite far from the pickup area, and I'm starting to get suspicious. But right when I'm about to say something, a black car with tinted windows. The man gets into the driver's seat.
Finally, my feet are killing me.
Without hesitating, Savannah gets in the back. I'm not gonna lie, I did not want to get in that car. The vibe was off. But I did. I threw the luggage in the back and got in. Why? I paid for my own flight, and I was not about to pass up on that reimbursement. Psst. Yeah, so, we're headed to the Matai. I have the address here if you, the door's locked.
You said you were bringing another girl.
Well, I thought it would be okay if I brought my...
Another girl!
Hey man, we don't want any problems. He doesn't respond. I notice in the rearview mirror, he's trembling. I can't see his hands. I look over at Savannah. She's frozen. Tears start forming in her eyes. I remember the windows are tinted, meaning nobody can see us from outside. That leaves us with one option. I need to take him out before he tries to pull anything on us. It's now or never. 3, 2, 1. The doors unlock. The man gets out. I hear the trunk pop open.
Savannah!
She snaps back. We get out of the car quickly. Then, I see our luggage tossed out on the road. A door closes. The car starts up. Before I even fully register the situation, the man drives off. Savannah falls to the ground and starts bawling her eyes out. At this point, I'm thinking, I'm definitely gonna have some harsh words for the hotel management when we get there. Hey, you okay?
No, not at all!
I'm sorry.
What?
If you brought one of your girls instead, none of this would have happened.
Don't be an idiot.
How am I an idiot? You know it's true. Guys get treated like shit unless they're rich or famous.
Yeah, you're right. Being a man is really hard.
We sure as hell don't get free clothes and free trips.
You sound jealous.
Because people just like you for the way you look?
You're an...
Savannah storms off. Come on, I didn't mean that. Savannah! I didn't chase after her because I couldn't just abandon all the luggage. I figured she went to the hotel, so I'd just meet her there. I open Uber and type in the Matai. No results. That's strange. Maybe I remembered the name wrong. I open up the hotel's Instagram. All of the hotel's photos read the Matai. Okay, something's off. I search for the Setai instead. Oh no. All of the photos from the other page were ripped from the Satai, except photoshopped, which means that the page that DM'd Savannah was never real to begin with. Wait, if the hotel isn't real, then what address did they send us? Savannah's in danger.
I don't see a hotel anywhere, but okay.
Are you Savannah?
Yes, and are you the organizer?
No, but you'll meet him soon.
Good. He's got some explaining to do.
Yes, I heard about your experience with our other driver. Our sincerest apologies. Shall we?
Savannah! Don't get in that car!
Oh, look who it is.
I'm sorry for what I said. You're way more than your looks. You're smart, generous, and most importantly, you've been nothing but a great friend.
Cute apology, but it's a little too late.
The Matai isn't real!
What?
Without warning, the man pushes Savannah into the back seat and locks the door. He heads for the driver's seat. I'm too far to make it to him before he drives off. I look back at the Uber driver.
Shut up!
The man starts his car. He cranks the parking brake. His foot goes for the gas pedal. Then, he hears something. I drive the Uber right into the front of his car. Airbags release and knock the man out. I get out of the Uber and open the back seat to the other car. Let's go! Savannah and I make a run for it. We got away before the cops showed up, so we never found out exactly what those men were involved in. Within the hour, the Instagram page for the Matai was gone without a trace. As for Savannah and I, we're good again. I was dumb for being jealous. I guess everything has a dark side, even being a pretty girl who gets free stuff. Still, to this day, I still think about what would have happened if she had brought a girl on the trip instead. Then when they least suspect it, I spit out the poison and collapse. The bottle spills all over the floor.
Oh my god! Steven, are you okay?
Hold up. Let me explain how I got here. This is the story of when my aunt tried to poison me. My mom and her two sisters didn't grow up with much. Basically, my mom hustled, got a sponsorship, and made it out to Canada. After she built a better life for herself, she wanted to bring her sisters up. So she helped them with their immigration papers, and eventually, they made it here too. It's been quite some time since then, but every year my mom likes to host a little party. Bring the extended family together. Each person usually brings a basket filled with goods. You know, food, drinks, a potluck. It's a good time for the most part. Just one little dilemma. I don't really like one of my aunts.
I don't get it. Does it make money?
That's Aunt Peggy. Ever since she married Rich, all she cares about is money. Funny thing is, I've never seen her offer to pay for anything.
Peggy, don't be rude. You don't want to be on his bad side when he's famous.
Aunt Sue. She's nice. Sometimes too nice. Comes off a little extra. But hey, I'll take her over Aunt Peggy any day.
I don't see how YouTube is going to make money.
He gets paid for ads on his videos. Some of these kids can actually make a lot of money.
I still think he's going back to school.
Peggy!
I'm just saying, remember James' kid? He dropped out too. online poker or something, even made some money. Guess what he did?
So what? He's young. Let him dream.
That's cute. Well, when he wakes up from this dream, he'll have to go to school and get a real job, like everyone else.
I can't with you. So, Steven, when are you going to buy your mom a big house?
I'm gonna go check on dinner. See what I mean? But you know what? It wasn't all bad. There was something I did look forward to. I make my way into the kitchen. I look around. There they are. The baskets. I walk over to them. That's strange. There's no names on them. Usually my aunts label their baskets. Whatever. I start digging through one of them. Chocolates, snacks, a delicious warm meal, and, oh yeah, an aloe vera drink. I love these. I pop it open and take a sip. Right away, something's off. Instead of the usual refreshing aloe flavor, a metallic taste stings my tongue. I spit it out. A silver liquid is mixed into the aloe drink. I rush over to the washroom sink and rinse aggressively, making sure that I didn't swallow anything. Okay, I think I'm good. I take out my phone and FaceTime my girlfriend, Anastasia. I filled her in on what happened. At first, I thought the aloe was just expired, but she was convinced that there was something else going on.
It was definitely poison.
But why would my aunt want to poison me?
I don't know, but we're gonna find out. I'm coming over.
Wait, if I confront her, she'll just deny it.
Yeah, I guess, but you can't just pretend it never happened.
No, but even if it was her, I'll need proof.
What kind of proof?
After some scheming, we managed to come up with a genius-level master plan, and it all revolved around these. Basically, there's something called Live Listen, where you can listen to what your iPhone hears through your AirPods. It's supposed to be used as a hearing aid, but it also happens to be quite handy for spying. The plan was simple. Anastasia would come over. I'd hide my iPhone inside of Aunt Peggy's jacket, while she would hide hers inside of Aunt Sue's. I was pretty sure that Aunt Peggy was the culprit, but we couldn't take any chances. Anyways, I'd fake getting poisoned by the aloe. Then, once my aunts left, we'd split up and follow them. We would listen and record through our iPhones, so that once one of them admitted to committing the crime, we'd have all the proof we'd need. I walk into the living room. I have the bottle of aloe in my hand. I'm holding in a mouthful of the poison, being as careful as I can not to swallow any.
Then there's Ella's boy. I hear he still can't find a girlfriend.
Has he tried those dating apps? I hear all the young people are on them these days.
He's past 30. I hardly consider him young.
Then when they least suspect it, I spit out the poison and collapse. The bottle spills all over the floor.
Oh my god, Steven, are you okay?
Obviously he's not okay. What are you waiting for? Call an ambulance.
An ambulance, of course.
Smart move, Peggy. If I got in an ambulance, I wouldn't be able to follow her. I had to act quick.
Steven?
I pretend to wake up from a daze.
We're going to take you to the hospital.
No! I mean, no thanks. I'm good. Probably just expired aloe.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go lay down for a bit. That was close. Next up, we waited for the commotion to die down. Once the ants were getting ready to leave, we made our move. Ready?
Let's get it.
I see Aunt Peggy's car leave the driveway. I follow closely behind. She takes a pretty normal route back to her house, nothing out of the ordinary. Then, about halfway, she makes a sudden left turn and drives down a local road. I look around at the houses. This definitely isn't her neighborhood. I turn off my lights and maintain a careful distance. She drives all the way to the end of the road. Then, she turns right into a Taco Bell parking lot. Yup, I watched her eat tacos in her car, then drive home and go to bed. After that, I had to awkwardly ring the doorbell and ask for my iPhone back. I hope your night is going better than mine.
She's talking to someone. I think it's a man.
I'm on my way. Inside a room on the second floor of Aunt Sue's house, the lights switch on. We can see the silhouettes of two people standing inside.
We poisoned the wrong person.
How is that possible?
Her idiot son showed up.
Steven?
You know him?
Yes.
How? Actually, I don't care. Point is, that wasn't our deal. You said you would help me poison his mom, and I would help you to...
Your pocket.
What?
It's a phone. Someone's listening.
You need to go.
She's on to us.
I'm almost there. The door to the house opens. The man escapes into the bushes.
There's no time.
Hello.
Wherever you are, I don't know what you think you heard, but...
The iPhone starts ringing. Aunt Sue picks up.
We know what you did.
And what might that be?
You tried to poison my mom.
Stephen, darling, I think you got it all wrong.
Give it up. We have you cornered. The police are on their way.
She always had to be the center of attention, though she was so special. She had it coming. And now, you do too.
Aunt Sue hangs up the phone. She runs down the stairs, then barges through the front door. She desperately reaches for her car keys. She hears footsteps. She looks up and... Anastasia tackles Aunt Sue to the ground and knocks her out. After that, the police showed up and took Aunt Sue. She was charged with attempted murder. My mom was horrified that her own sister would try such a thing. Aunt Peggy still claims that she knew all along that Sue was no good. Something from that night still haunts me. Who is the man that Aunt Sue was talking to? How did he know me? And what exactly did she offer to do for him if he had successfully poisoned my mom?
A mysterious new substance has taken the streets. 6 people have already been reported dead. Please report it to your local authorities.
No way. I pull out my phone and call Tabitha. Yo, did you see the news? Hold up. Let me explain how I got here. This is the story of when my sister helped kill 6 people. A couple years ago, my sister Tabitha had told me that she had met, quote-unquote, the perfect man. His name was Noah, and you know what? I'll just let him speak for himself. Ready to go? What about the bill? Don't worry about that. I took care of it. Oh, I wasn't even talking about that. I meant earlier in the night. So Noah, what do you do? Actually, I am retired. Huh. Really?
Noah sold his company a few years ago to Shopify, so now he's rich.
What she means is, nowadays I have the privilege of spending my time doing things that I love. Cool. And what's that? Well, what I'm really passionate about is helping other people. Did you know that just 2 years ago, there were 145 deaths from homelessness in our city? No, I didn't know that. Most people don't. It's fair to say that at this point, it's a state of crisis. Right, love?
Right.
So awful. Wish I could do something about it. Actually, why don't we invite Steven to the extravaganza?
Oh no, he wouldn't be interested in that.
Huh? What's the extravaganza?
The extravaganza is Noah's event. Every month we will get together and give out warm meals to the homeless. It's beautiful. Just like him.
You're too kind. Wow. So what do you say? A couple hours out of your day to save some lives. How could I say no to that? How could anybody say no to that? To him? Yeah, okay, I admit it. The man was perfect. So on Sunday morning, we met up at a community center with like 30 other people. People from all walks of life, all under one roof for a good cause. It was nice. Noah kicked things off with a speech about how the true meaning of life is about giving back. The food was already packed into small styrofoam containers. All we had to do was bag them and split up into partners. Noah stayed back to coordinate, so I teamed up with Tabitha. From there, divide and conquer. We were ready to bless the less fortunate. Tabitha and I walk down a main street. We look around. Odd, there aren't any homeless people around. Where are they?
I'm not sure. Where do homeless people usually hang out?
I don't know. I noticed something. Alleyways?
That's offensive.
Tabitha looks. An alleyway just down the street. Tabitha looks back at me. We enter the alleyway. The sun cuts out in here, so it's much darker. As my eyes adjust, I look around. I see someone. A homeless man sitting by the dumpster. We approach him.
Hi.
He doesn't respond.
So today we're here with the extravaganza, and our mission is to bless the less fortunate.
Yeah. I don't need to hear the spiel. Do you got the stuff?
Tabitha and I share a look of confusion.
Are you deaf? I asked if you've got the stuff.
Hey man, we're just trying to help.
No, you're not.
Excuse me?
Let me tell you something, kid. You peoples walk by us every day, pretend we don't exist. Then when the guilt gets to you, here you are, on your high horse. Not to help us, but to feel good about yourself, so you can go on doing what you do, living so large, and leaving the rest of us with so little. Yeah, I thought so. Now, like I said, do you got the stuff?
The man had a point. I honestly didn't know what to say, so I said nothing, and just handed him one of the containers.
Looks good.
We turned to walk away.
What do you think you're doing?
Huh?
The bag.
Oh, it's just one container per person.
Leave the bag.
Look, we need to make sure there's enough to go around. The homeless man doesn't break eye contact. Then, he whistles. I hear footsteps coming from behind. I turn to look. 2 other men flank us from the alleyway entrance.
Leave the bag, or don't leave at all.
I look to Tabitha. She nods. Okay. As slowly as I can, I take off the bag and gently place it on the ground. The homeless man watches. Tabitha and I raise our arms up. We turn to walk away. we passed the two men standing behind us. Step by step, we continue to walk, too afraid to look back. Then, we make it out of the alleyway. After that, I didn't really mess with the extravaganza no more. I tried to forget about what happened. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't easy, but eventually, I managed to put it behind me. That is, until...
A mysterious new substance has taken the streets. 6 people have already been reported dead, and many more hospitalized. Police have yet to publish an official statement, but there are reports on how many of the victims have been homeless people. If you see or hear anything suspicious, please report it to your local authorities.
No way. I pull out my phone and call Tabitha. Yo, did you see the news?
Yeah.
Well?
What?
Come on.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that I never trusted Noah. If someone's too good to be true, they probably are.
You're delusional. This is just a coincidence.
Maybe, but there's no harm in proving his innocence, right? Tabitha reluctantly agreed. The plan was simple. The next time Tabitha hung out with Noah, she'd steal a spare key. She was already familiar with his schedule, so on Tuesday when he was at 10 a.m. yoga, we'd sneak in and search his house. And if we didn't find anything suspicious, I had to buy her a Nintendo Switch. Right on time. We get inside. I look around. This place is massive. There's no way I'll get through it all.
Better get started.
Suddenly, I hear the door close behind us. What's the meaning of this?
Noah, you're back early.
Yes, I have a meeting with my Amazon guys later, and I left a file behind.
Amazon?
I sold my company to them, remember? More importantly, what are you two doing here?
Look, bro, this was 100% my idea, but it isn't what it looks like. I saw the news and I had a few suspicions. You're probably innocent, but I just had to make sure.
I see. Well, you could have just asked. Shall we?
I've got to make a call. You two go. I'll catch up.
Noah leads me down a hallway. We walk into an elevator. He presses B. The elevator starts moving down. It stops. Then the doors slide open. It's completely dark inside.
Go ahead. I'll get the lights.
I make my way inside. Then I hear a metal cage shut behind me. The lights switch on. Oh no. Chemical vases, metal buckets, and all sorts of other types of equipment surround me. I look back. Noah stands on the other side of a metal fence, smiling. What is this?
Let's just say this is where we produce something very, very addictive.
The extravaganza.
Yes, the perfect way to distribute my product.
Why the homeless?
The ideal customer. Who else would spend all day scrounging just enough cash to come back and buy more?
You're disgusting.
And you're finished. Enjoy rotting down here while I go back up and take care of your sister.
Noah shuts off the lights, then gets back into the elevator. No. Wait.
Stop!
Tabitha. Oh, Tabitha. My love, where are you? Why?
So Shopify, huh? What else are you lying about?
The man approaches us. He pulls out a black card from his jacket and tucks it into Yasir's pocket.
I always get what I want.
Mr. White leaves. Hold up. Let me explain how I got here. This is the story of the time a hitman tried to hire me. It was Friday night. My sister Tabitha was hosting her birthday party. She booked a booth at Toy Fox, one of the clubs downtown. When I got there, her boyfriend Yasir came outside to get me. We lined up to get back inside, but something was off. We weren't moving, so we decided to go see what was holding everybody up.
You can't come in with those.
With what?
Those.
Surely, there must be a misunderstanding. The owner personally invited me tonight.
I don't care if the president invited you. We have a dress code.
I'm gonna remember this.
Great. Remember this too.
Everything okay over here?
It's great. Mind your own business.
Relax, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
This guy is triggered. I'm thinking he's about to come at us at any moment, so I had to act quick. I pull out my iPhone and start recording.
Yo, don't record me. Did you hear me?
Free country.
I don't give a I said don't record me.
The bouncer comes at me, but Yasir intercepts him.
There's no need for trouble.
Too late.
The bouncer swings at Yasir. Yasir dodges, slips behind, and puts the bouncer into a sleeper hold. The bouncer struggles, then falls asleep. Two other bouncers come outside. They charge at Yasir. I was like, sorry Tabitha, looks like we can't make it tonight because shit, it's about to go down. But then...
Stop!
The owner of the club shows up.
What on earth is going on?
Hello, Rafi.
Mr. White, have these two caused you trouble?
Oh no. Actually, they were the ones who saved me from your very unpleasant bouncer.
Quick, get this idiot out of here before he embarrasses me anymore.
The sleeping bouncer gets dragged away.
I am so sorry about this. Please, come with me. I will personally assure that the rest of your night is taken care of.
Yes, you will. Not just for me, but for my new friends as well.
Of course. Come, friends.
Actually, we already have someone we're meeting inside.
Join me for a drink. I insist.
No thanks.
Bruh. The man was about to hook us up with that VIP treatment. But I get it. Yasir is a man of principle, and he didn't want to keep Tabitha waiting. The man approaches us.
I'm Mr. White. And you?
Yasir.
What do you do, Yasir?
I work construction.
Ah, who would we be without noble tradesmen like you, building our homes? And how does it pay?
It's decent. Why do you ask?
What if I said there was a job opportunity where you could work just once or twice a month, travel, and make more money than you've ever dreamed of?
I'm sure a job like that would require a very specialized skill set.
It does, but all of that can be learned.
Thanks, but I'm happy with my current line of work.
Mr. White steps closer. He pulls out a black card from his jacket and tucks it into Yasir's pocket.
I always get what I want.
Mr. White leaves. Yasir takes the card out of his pocket. Without even looking, he tosses it. Okay, technically, the man was talking to both of us. And just because Yasir wanted to pass upon the opportunity of a lifetime, doesn't mean that I wanted to. So I picked up the card. All that was written on it was an address and time, 7 days from then. I figured that it was probably a job interview or an info session, but there wasn't any harm in checking it out. So I went. The address was located in Chinatown. There was no signage on the outside of the building, so it was kind of hard to find. Looking back now, that should have been a major red flag. I get inside and look around. A bunch of shady-looking men are sitting around. At the end of the hallway, a girl is sitting behind a plastic table. I assume she's the receptionist. Behind her, a closed door. I'm thinking, I must be in the wrong place. I pull up my phone to check the address. That's odd. No signal. I walk up to the front.
Name?
Steven. She checks her list. Is this 42 Medina Avenue?
Yes, I don't see you on the list.
Oh, what about Yasir? She checks again.
Have a seat. He'll be right with you.
I walk back and take a seat in an empty chair. Hey, do you know the Wi-Fi?
Ain't no internet in here, kid. Too risky.
Why is that?
You're funny.
I awkwardly laugh along, even though I don't get the joke. Do you by any chance know what this job is?
Yeah, to kill people.
I waited for him to laugh again, but he didn't. Just a deadpan look on his face. So I'm officially creeped out. But right when I get up to leave,
Yasir?
I look back.
He's ready for you now.
I walk back down the hallway. I open the door and step into another room. Mr. White sits at the end of the room, behind a table with nothing but a MacBook on it.
My friend, so good of you to join me. Where's the other?
He, couldn't make it. Asked me to come in and get more info.
I see. Have a seat.
I walk across the room and sit down in the chair across from him.
I'm Mr. White. And you?
Steven. He typed something into the laptop.
So, Steven, you want to work?
I'm still not exactly sure what the job is.
To kill people for me.
He reaches into his jacket pocket to take out a gun. He places it on the table.
This is for you. Your first target will be probationary. Test the waters. See if you're fit for the job.
Oh, well, the thing is,
I'm confused. What's going on here?
Nothing. I just thought this was like an info session or something.
I see. Well, we can't have loose ends. There's no backing out now, Mr. Steven.
Sweat starts dripping down the side of my face. I look around for a possible escape. The door that I came from. No, that won't work. A window and a fire escape. But, oh no. A security camera stares right at me from the corner of the room. I wasn't sure how much information he already had on me and Yasir, but once I saw the camera, I knew that if I made a run for it, it would be easy for him to track me down. I was stuck.
So what will it be?
Do you mind if I make a phone call real quick?
We do not allow phone calls in here.
Oh, right. That's it. Suddenly, I know what I gotta do. I slide my sleeve down over my hand, then reach for the gun on the table. Mr. White watches me without blinking. I pick it up, take a deep breath. I walk over to the door and lock it.
What do you think you're doing?
Then I aim.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
I shoot at the laptop on the table. It breaks immediately. Smoke starts seeping out. Then I turn and shoot again at the security camera in the corner. No Wi-Fi or signal in here. It means all of your data moves offline, and the only tech I see is that laptop on your table. So chances are, both mine and Yasir's information, as well as my face, was stored there.
Smart boy.
I hear footsteps. The people outside start pounding on the door. That's my cue. I hurry to the window.
Mr. Steven, I always get what I want.
I make my escape.
What are you waiting for? Get in here and clean this up.